So there's really not much to say. I'm gonna say a lot, and it's about why I think Zelda in Breath of the Wild, like as a character, the female doesn't really have much of a personality or like a character in a sense. Like there are 30 minutes of cutscenes where you're with her, and it's essentially just Link and Zelda. And what they do is, in all these memories, they show up to a place. You see this amazing, beautiful scene of what Hyrule was like before Calamity Ganon, and it's just Zelda going, I don't know how to turn on my powers, and my daddy says I gotta use my powers. I don't know how to use my powers. Where? And then Link would just be standing there like, okay. Actually didn't say anything, but I imagine inside his head is okay. Then they'll move on to another place, and Zelda would be like, I don't know how to turn on my power. I'm running out of places to use my power, but my daddy says my power is gonna save us. And then they just go on to another place, and they go on to another place, and then Ganon gets unleashed, and then she finally unlocks her power. Spoiler, but like by then I'm pretty much at the end of my memories. It is literally the last memory that's a spoiler, where she unlocks her powers. So it's like 12 memories of her trying to turn on her power, and that is the only characterization we really get from these memories. Like there's the diary part. I kind of skipped past the diary with a lot of words, but in terms of the memories, you don't really get to see her doing anything else except complain about how she has no powers. And with 30 whole minutes, you really could have done a lot more. Like, I have to admit, I kind of forgot some of the cutscenes because I played Breath of the Wild in 2 sections. I unlocked some cutscenes, then I unlocked the final whatever, and since it's out of order, I would say it's like a random sample. And out of these random samples, it's really people complaining about how the fact that she cannot turn on her powers, or the fact that she has no powers, and that's it. Like, and as a character, I don't see anything. So the general idea is that she's a princess and she has to save the world, so she has this pressure to find this ability to save the world, and she's going through all these hardships. But in game, it's just kinda her complaining for 30 minutes, as far as I remember. And it doesn't benefit that I really don't like her voice actor. So I played the English version of Breath of the Wild, and the female voice actor has like this British voice, but it's more of a narrator than a voice actor. So when the game begins, it actually works really fine. It's like, Link, you have to save Hyrule from Calamity Ganon. And okay, it could work as a narrator. It didn't really sit with me, but I think it works. But when she's speaking as a character, like Zelda's, let's say walking through a forest, it doesn't work because you go like, Link, I cannot turn on my powers. Stop following me, Link. Yeah, it does not work. And every time I heard her voice, like in a memory, I actually wanted to like turn it off, maybe lower the volume, because she's speaking as a narrator, and I don't want to shit on this voice actor because I don't know anything about voice acting. But it doesn't work. It really doesn't work, and it just serves to reduce the personality I get from Zelda. Because I've heard YouTubers just like in random fan animations where they play Zelda in a sense, and you can feel so much more character out of it. You can feel the energy, or like feel the emotions. But this voice actor just sounds like a narrator trying to speak through a person, and it does not serve to build up more character for Zelda. It's kind of like Zelda is just there, and she's going through her trials and tribulations, but that's it. She just has her trials, and in the end she finishes them. But at that point I am already so detached from the story. There was a bit of personality where she rides up to a place on a horse and she's like, go away, Link. It's like, oh sorry, I only told you to go away because I cannot turn on my powers and I'm frustrated. Really not much characterization, it's just her whining. And that really did not help with the drawing I'm kind of doing. So I'm trying to do the face, and with a face you want to put some emotion onto it. But the only time I think of Zelda, the only emotion I think of is the fact that she has one emotion, and that's her whining and taking care of Link in the last cutscene where she discovers her power. But it's mostly just whining. that's my reasons why I do not like Zelda from Breath of the Wild. It's an amazing game too. It's such an amazing game. I think it's pulled back down by the fact that these cutscenes, which is essentially the entire plot of this game, this doesn't work well for me. And 10 out of 10 game, minus 0.5 from these memories. Still rounds to a 10 out of 10 game actually.